I think it's like the second example. Do you see that? Hi.
No,
Cannot. Oh, this is the second example. You don't see that? Now I can. You can, right? The
Yes.
existing territory, we divide to be two smaller territories because of the growth in the market, right? Oh, do you notice two New York here? Oh my God. Guys, two New York here, remember? Why is everyone quiet? Do you hear my voice? Yes. Right? Chapter 6. You saw that New York, we assigned two salesperson. That's why here you see two New York. That's a very similar situation with the second example. Okay? New York as a big market with a lot of opportunities, growing and whatever. That's why they divide New York into two and they assign two salesperson. Okay? So that is the best example for the second one. Dividing the existing territory, one large territory to be two smaller territories. Okay? All right, now let's go to chapter 7. You know, sorry. I got caught rain. I'm on the 20th floor in my condo, and then like 2-3 days ago, it rained very heavily, and it was very windy, So on my balcony there is a bird nest. It's quite big, and think about it, 20th floor, right? And the wind was very strong, so I was so afraid of like the bird nest would be flying, dropping, like down, because like I'm on 20th floor. So I pulled the plant with the bird nest inside, and of course with the strong wind, I got wet my whole body. And since then, like I started having like trouble with the fever and like how to call like sore throat and this kind of stuff. I have been taking a lot of medicines now. And they have very small birds. I think just newly born birds, many birds inside. So in the morning, usually like they will be very noisy. So 2 days already, I've been taking a lot of paracetamol, anticoagulants, and like sleeping. Oh my God. Now let's go to chapter 7. Oh, one more thing is, just now you see like we saw territory design, and we saw like adding those control units and whatsoever, and like sales potential, population, number of the accounts. In the reality, these days, with the use of the technology, we have the we have the software program. Okay, so whatever information, secondary data you use, you plug in that in the software program. You run the program within a few minutes. Okay, you will to sit down and then do it manually. You see, like in the beginning, long time ago, I tried to get the I try to get the lab, okay, so that we will be able to run software. But since then, long time ago, there were troubles, okay, with the lab. I cannot reserve the lab and so on, like not convenient. And the last thing, the publisher cannot provide us the software. Okay, then forget about it. So anyway, now let's come to chapter 7. I told you guys that after midterm, the chapters are getting a lot easier and activities of the sales manager. So now as a sales manager, one of the important activities will be recruiting salespeople, selecting them very carefully to work with us, okay? These are 4 main topics that we will study in chapter 7. Recruitment and selection planning. Of course, that is a planning stage. Before we do anything, we need to make a plan, okay? Then we start recruiting the applicants. Among many applicants, we will select them carefully, okay? Select the best one. And the last one is evaluation. So let's do with planning. Now the birds are, I don't know. I can hear the birds now. They are like talking. I don't know how to say. Okay. For the planning process, what you have to do is you have to find out whether you need to hire salespeople or not. Definitely, if this is your first year operation, you need to hire salespeople, you need to form the sales force, right? That is understood already. But what about like in the normal situation already? And because of something happening, then you might need to hire someone. That is also possible. Okay? So if you look at the textbook, it is giving you many examples. For example, like change in the company policies and procedures and becoming like merger and acquisition. Okay? Or introducing a new product line. Or entering into the new market. Okay? Or it can be like any situation. For example, your salespeople are leaving the company. So there may be many reasons that you should know that you need to hire some more salespeople. One of the turnover. Everyone knows what is turnover. Okay? Turnover, because of the turnover, then you need to hire some more new salespeople. Why would you have turnover in your company? It is possible that salespeople will be working with us, and probably because they get promotion. For example, from salesperson, sales executive, they become the sales supervisor, right? So because of the promotion, they go to the higher level. Then we need to replace someone to that vacant position. Or sometimes they are transferred to another department. They leave the company. Why would they leave the company? Probably they get better job, better pay in some other companies. They are not happy with the company. They are not happy with the policies. They are not happy with the manager. That is also possible. So for any reason, they might leave. So we have to find out what is the turnover rate in the company. And based on that, we will know how many salespeople we need to hire more. So how do we calculate turnover rate? That is the equation given in the textbook. Okay? Separations per year divided by average size of the sales force. Separations per year means this one, okay? Separations per year means number of salespeople leaving the company within 1 year. Divided by average size. That is like the all the time, okay? Every time, anytime, that should be the size of the sales force, number of salespeople you should have to perform all selling, non-selling activities. For example, in our sales management, our average class size is 40. Okay, so in this case, then no matter any semester we talk about, I need about 40 students in my section. So now let's see the example. Okay, for this company, 30 salespeople will be leaving every year for any reason. And the company needs about 150 salespeople, okay, as a whole, to perform all selling, non-selling activities. Then we calculate the turnover rate. That is, here plug in the numbers in the equation. Of course, percentage, therefore multiply by 100%, 20% turnover rate. So for this company, 20% turnover rate, it is high. You should not be happy, okay? As a manager, when you have high turnover rate, you should do something, be careful, because that is like very costly, okay? So this is how we calculate turnover rate, all right? Another thing to consider is in the planning stage, okay? In the planning stage, the first one, look at the personnel needs, personnel, not personal, okay? Personnel, whether we need to hire more salespeople or not. Then we also look at company culture, okay? Before we hiring new salespeople. In different organizations, they have different ways of doing things, different beliefs and different norms and different culture. We look at our company, understand our company culture, and we will hire someone who will be able to work or survive in our company culture. There's an example given. Actually, there are two examples, okay, in your textbook. Let's look at Disneyland, okay? If you look at Disneyland, Walt Disney, that is a theme park, isn't it? If you go to Disneyland, you will see the employees wearing in costume, right? Those cartoon characters in costume, and they will be greeting the guests, okay? They will be greeting like children, taking the photos and whatsoever. Even if you go to the gift shop, in the gift shop, they also wear the costume. In this case, then, if you were applying for Disney theme park, and if you think that wearing those costumes, running around, taking the photos, if you think that that is stupid, that is childish, you don't like it, then definitely you will not survive in that company, in that organization. You know what I mean, okay? That's why that's the same thing here. In our company, we have different ways of doing things. We have our own culture. We should hire someone who will survive in our organization. For example, ABAC. ABAC as an international university, we have foreign students, isn't it? So if we hire staff employees, staff to work in registration office, staff to work in financial office, if someone does not like to speak English, that person will not be surviving in ABAC, because anyway, the staff cannot run away from speaking English. You see that that's the same thing here. So we as sales managers, we know our company policies, we know our company culture, we know how we do things. So we have to be careful that if we hire someone who is not able to work or who cannot survive in our company, we are just wasting, we have to be very careful in selection process that we will be hiring only who can survive in our culture. Okay? So now, we come to recruiting candidates. Recruiting candidates is something like, we are going to find out how we will attract the applicants to apply for the job. Oh, before that, the next one, okay, in the planning stage. The next one we have to do is like, we prepare for recruiting process. Okay, the first thing is job analysis. Job analysis. So these slides are from the textbook, okay? I mean, from the original slides. We will conduct job analysis, that is, analyzing the job of current salespeople. By analyzing the job of current salespeople, we will be able to know what are the jobs that new salespeople will have to perform. Okay? So in this case, then, this is before we hire them, all right? According to your textbook, systematic way to describe how the job is to be performed, blah, blah. But in a simple way, when we conduct the job analysis, we will analyze the job of current salespeople, and based on that, we will assign the job to the new salespeople. So how do we conduct the job analysis? Now, pay attention. If you were the sales manager, you know what are the jobs of salespeople, responsibilities, activities of salespeople, you know it. But now we are talking about if our salespeople, if our sales manager, if we as sales managers, we are not free. We are not free here to do the, we are not free to do the recruiting process. There may be some administrative staff, some employees in the company, or even HR, human resource, okay? HR, they will help us recruiting new. For those HR or like administrative, they might not know exactly what are the responsibilities, jobs of these people. If they help us doing this, they might interview, job analysis interview. They might interview sales manager and sales people. Ask what are the jobs of our sales people. Or they might go to the sales offices, sales branches, and they may observe how our sales people perform the job. They can also interview our customers because our customers know what are the activities of salespeople, what salespeople do perform for them, right? So by interviewing customers or administrative employees will know what are the jobs of salespeople. Or they can read the secondary data like sales diaries, okay? Sales diaries, sales reports, these are the secondary data. And of course, they can also read like customer ratings, customer comments, customer, evaluations, okay, responses. By doing so, they will be able to know what are the jobs of our current people, okay? Then after that, after knowing what are the jobs of current salespeople, they have to come up with job description. So job description, that is the telling what are the jobs that the new salespeople will have to perform. What are the things they have to do? What are the things they have to follow? Okay, job description. The detailed job activities that they have to perform as a salesperson in our company. So we may include these, okay? For example, like who they will report to. New salespeople, they will report to the manager directly, or they will report to the supervisor, or they will, they will be working in which territory, how much sales they have to achieve, what are the detailed activities that they have to perform. Everything will be in that job description. So you see, like, by reading that job description, new salespeople know what the company expects from them. New salespeople know what are the things that they have to follow, they have to achieve. Okay, so that job description can be the guideline for new salespeople. So when we write the job description, okay, now look at here. These are the different jobs, okay, that salespeople need to perform. How do we know? For example, selling requirements, not only selling the product, here we have many other selling related activities. So what about non-selling activities, okay? See, like, how do we know these are the job responsibilities of our salespeople? That is from job analysis, isn't it? Right? Based on that, we will come up with the job description, written document telling new salespeople what they have to do. Therefore, look at the example here, job description. Okay? Do you see it? Can you read? Okay, job description, this is one example for marketing and sales assistant. All right? So there is a main purpose of this job, who they will report to. Sales assistant will be reporting to sales manager, of course, right? The introduction of the role, brief explanation about the role as a sales assistant, the major responsibilities, and also some other detailed activities here. See that? Okay? So that is, we call it job description. We develop this document based on job analysis. Then, here, one more. This is directly for the sales manager position. Job description as a sales manager, okay, you will report to, and here you see like the purpose and also like key responsibilities, key account responsibilities, major activities, business focuses, and so on. See that? So that's also another job description. That's why when we come back to job description, that is a written report, that is a written document. By looking at the job description, you know exactly what the company expects you to do as a new salesperson. Okay? Then, when we come to job qualification, remember that based on the job analysis, based on the information that we get, we know what are the activities that they have to perform, isn't it? And based on that, we will be creating job description. So you saw the examples of job description. To perform those required jobs, okay, that we mentioned in job description, they need to have those set of qualifications. We call it job qualifications. So job qualifications are aptitude, skill, knowledge, personality traits, okay, required to have in order to perform those jobs mentioned, described in job description. Okay, so in this case then, job qualifications, for example, if you look at the textbook, okay, in the textbook you have the example already. Now, if you come to this example, job qualification, we consider their educational background, personal information, whether they had training in the past or not, experience, whether they had past previous experiences, and here, what are the skill and qualifications that they must have. See that? So you see, like, these are the examples of the job qualification. All right? Different companies of qualification. All right? For example, if your company is producing and selling just convenience goods, FMCG, consumer goods, then your new salespeople do not need to have engineering or technician background, right? Because selling yogurt, selling slippers, selling umbrella, you don't need a technical background. But if you are recruiting salespeople to sell your machine and equipment, then your new salespeople should have at least technical or engineering background. See that? Education level will be also different, depends on the nature of the product, depends on the company policy. Okay? So usually, okay, here in 21st century, most of the organizations prefer like graduate students, all right? Technical or even like computer background, okay, computer skill or working experiences at least how many years. Some companies prefer like brand new graduates, fresh, because they can train like anything. But some companies prefer like those with some experiences to reduce their training time. It depends, all right? So when you have to develop the job qualification, you have to look at the company, what kind of company it is, what are the products, and you look at the available information that you will come up with the appropriate. So in this case, now here in the planning stage, we do 5 things. The first one is you find out whether you need to hire more salespeople or not. Then you look at the company culture, try to understand it, right? And the third one, conduct job analysis. And based on the information you get, you develop job description. And in order to perform all the jobs in job description, you set up the job qualification. These are the 5 things you will do in planning. Can you follow?
Yes.
Like that, that would be easier for you, okay, when you take the exam. That's what we will do when, so that's easier rather than reading the textbook from A to Z, like the whole thing without knowing what we are doing. Okay, now let's go to the second step. That is recruiting the candidates. Recruiting candidates means attracting the applicants. Take the screenshot. I have been telling you guys to take the screenshot because you see, like, I added additional information, and also if I think that that topic would be difficult for you to understand, I put it on the slide with a detail. That's why I asked you guys to take the screenshot, okay? Whether you know how to use it or not in the exam, that is your part. But I'm sure that my PowerPoint slides are very useful, okay, if you know how to use them in the exam. So for second one, recruiting. The objective or the goal is to find and attract the best qualified applicants. Look at the highlighted one. The best qualified applicants for the sales position. Remember that we will not hire everyone applying for the job, okay? Once we recruiting people, then definitely there will be a lot of people applying for the job. We do not take everyone. Since we are going to select the best one, the most qualified applicant, we have to go through the procedure, okay? So you look at here the equation, R equals to H divided by S multiplied by A. This is not X, this is multiplication, okay? Why do we have to use this equation? Now you look at the meaning of each letter. R is number of recruits. Okay, number of recruits, that is like the number of applicants that we should attract. How many applicants? Okay, and H will be the required number of hires. Required number of hires means how many positions available, how many vacancies, vacant positions available in the company. Okay, how many people we need to hire. X, percentage of recruits selected. X is from how many applicants, how many percent we will select. Okay, and A is after we select and give them the job, how many percent will take the job. If you look at that, if you listen like this, it's confusing. Look at the example here. Okay, you understand better. The example here is in this company. Oh, in this company, 10 salespeople leave the position. So there is a vacancy, 10 positions. The company needs to hire 10 more new salespeople. Okay? And the company's policy is from many applicants applying for the job, they will take only 10% of it. And they will offer the position. When they offer the position, they assume that only 50% will take the position. That means that even though they apply for the job, when they get the job, some of them may not take the job. So we plug in the numbers in the equation, okay? Or number of recruits, we want to know how many people will be applying for the job. So this is the available position. And we divide by 10%, okay, multiply by 50%, S multiplied by A. When you solve this equation, we get 200. That means that in order to select the best, in order to select the 10 best qualified applicants, we need to attract at least 200 people to apply for the job. From 200 people applying for the job, we take only 10%, and when we offer the job to them, only 50% will take the job. So when we come to this, according to the definition here, okay, assume that if 200 apply for the job, we take only 10% and give the job, only 50% will take the job. So the final answer is exactly the same number as we require. This is the additional information just to make you understand. You can take the screenshot also. Is that okay, guys?
Yes.
All right. So you think that, oh my God, we have to attract 200 people to apply for the job. It's too many. If you want to reduce R, then you may increase S or A. Very simple mathematics, okay? So if you increase S, for example, you may select like 20-30% of total, or you may select like whatever. You increase your assumption, A, how many will accept the offer. If you increase either S or A, then you get smaller R. Okay? Anyway, now we know that in order to select 10 best qualified applicants, we need to attract about 200 applicants, 200 people come and apply for the job. Okay, the question is, oh my God, 200, how are we going to tell people that we are accepting the application? Recruiting sources. Okay? We have many different ways of recruiting people. The first one will be classified ads. These are like advertising, right? You may advertise in the traditional media. You can use online. You can use social media. So you see, like, when you advertise, for example, on your company website, or even like there are like advertising, they will do advertising for us, and also like online social media also by using the social media platform. Once people see that you are accepting the application, what will they do? They will come apply for the job, isn't it? Right? It is possible that for me, I visit to that company website, for example, Procter & Gamble website, and I see that job opportunities, career opportunities. I click, I look at it, they say that, oh, they are accepting the salesperson position, blah, blah. Then I can download the application form. So that is like using the company website. So people will be downloading the application form, they submit through the email. That is possible. okay? Or some people, they simply you get application form, okay, the hard copy, they fill in, they send to the HR. That is also possible. There are many different ways. But one thing is, when we advertise about our job vacancies from any kind of media, we can attract large number of applicants because it will go everywhere, right? Second one, we can also recruit our present employees. That is something like in the last class we saw already, okay? That we look at our customer service or like marketing, administrative, and we will see some employees in those uh, department or qualified person. Then we may switch them to sales department, all right? Because they have like product knowledge, company policies, procedures, because they are working in our company, the same company. We can reduce a lot of training time. What we need to train is only how to sell the product, isn't it? Okay? Therefore, it is possible that when we need new salespeople, we can look at other departments of our company, then they can become salesperson. Okay? Referrals networking, that is very simple. Someone will introduce us with that person, okay, to work with us. So, and it might be from management, it might be from customer, it might be from any person, okay? They refer to us to work. And also the next one, employment agencies. These are the outsourcing, okay? The companies doing recruiting, selection process. For example, if the manager does not have enough time, then we can use the service of the employment agency. They will do everything from the beginning, okay, until the end, selecting the best applicants. They will do that. Schools and colleges, that's also like when we study in the university, we have career week, right? So during the career week, there will be companies coming to ABAC and accepting the applicants. That's the same thing here. So we can go to those schools and colleges and universities and accepting the application forms from those senior students and graduating students. Or we can hire salespeople of our customers, our suppliers, our competitors, because since they are dealing with our company, they know about our product, but it is not ethical. Okay? So in this case, then these are different ways of getting the applicant. The question is, Ajahn, how do we know which one we should choose? Then, like this example, if you need to attract about 200 applicants, that is quite large number, then you may go for advertising. Okay? So if you need to attract large number of applicants, you may choose advertising. But if you need a very small number of new salesperson, for example, let's say like one or two positions, okay, you may go for your current employee in marketing, customer service, administrative. But if you cannot find any qualified one, then you may go for outside people. Okay. Referral networking, that is also like for if you need like small number of. Okay. If you need new salespeople who are professional, oh my God. Do you hear the noise? Yes. Yes. I don't think we have come up here today, you know. Oh, okay. So employment agencies are good if you want the professional ones, the best. It is expensive, okay, using employment agency or outsourcing. It is expensive, but you can expect the best ones in the industry. When your company wants newly graduate, fresh, energetic salespeople, young, and you want to train them from the beginning, becoming your own sales force, then you can go for school and colleges, okay? And of course, if you want the experienced salesperson with the knowledge of your product, you can hire your customer employee, your customer salesperson, supplier salesperson, your competitor salesperson, but as I said, it is not ethical. A way of choosing which source you will use, okay? Some companies use more than one. For example, advertising and also school and colleges. That's okay, fine. Depends on your requirement, depends on your budget. Okay? So that is about step 2. Now let's go to step 3. We will select the best prospects, selecting the best qualified applicants. Take the screenshot, okay? Because what you are seeing is a little bit different from the textbook or your PowerPoint slide because I added additional information. Oh, what is going on? Are you done?
Yes.
You notice that in your textbook or in the original PowerPoint set, you see those steps. But here on my slide, I highlighted only some boxes. So based on your textbook explanation, I highlighted the boxes. Your textbook does not explain every step. So we will study only the highlighted boxes, highlighted steps that the textbook explains, okay? This is what we call it the model for selecting salespeople. From whatever recruiting sources we use, okay, assume that, let's say we choose classified advertising and we are going to, because we are going to select the best 10. So after advertising in many different media, the first one is application blank. Starting from this topic, I don't have the detail, okay? So you have to listen. Those who have the textbook, it is very good. But you don't have the textbook, you listen, you may take the note, okay? After we advertise or after we use any sort of like recruiting, okay, source, then now we start receiving application forms. people start applying for the job at our company. So when they start applying for application form, isn't it? As I mentioned a few minutes ago, they may download the application form from our company website, or they may walk in and they may contact the HR. They may write down application form manually. That is also possible. They will type, they submit it back. So whatever method we use, the reason for asking the applicants to fill in the application form, there are two reasons. The first reason is by filling up the application form, we can collect their personal data and necessary information like a standard form. Because the application form will be standard, whoever is applying for the job, they will give us the same information in the same manner, right? Second reason is by asking them to fill in the application form, and in case if we select them, we can keep their application forms as future records. So these are the two reasons for asking them to fill in the application form. Okay? So think about it. When we start receiving application forms, we will be asking them to fill in all the necessary information, usually in our application form, okay? Or in any kind of job application form. Usually in the beginning, they start with their personal data, right? Bio data. For example, name, the personal background, right? Then, what are the important information that we will ask them to fill in? Education background, very important, right? Working experiences, very important. These are the necessary information that they have to fill in. And also, sometimes like some other extra curricular activities that they performed, some other extra skills and knowledge, okay, they may also include in the application form. But according to your textbook, it says that we should not ask questions, something like asking about their gender, religion, whether they are handicapped or not. We should not ask these kind of questions because there may be arguments, for example, okay? If they are rejected, there may be arguments that because of these, then the company rejected them. Probably that is possible. So to avoid those kind of like unnecessary arguments or complaints, then usually companies do not include or should not include gender, religion, and being handicapped or not in the application form. But you see, like here in Thailand, many companies still including like gender. Of course, okay, gender, we should know. But you see, like in some application forms, I used to see that gender, not only male and female, gender male, female, and others, right? Gender, male, female, and others. Or in some other companies, they use like gender 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 is male, 2 female, 3, 4, 5, so on. See that? Okay, anyway, that's what we should know about application forms. Then assuming that after we receive about 200 application forms, because we are going to select we need about 200, right? After we receive about 200 application forms, we close the application acceptance, then we start reviewing them. So now in our hand, we have about 200. Yeah. Whenever we review the application forms, if they are not qualified, we reject them. How do we know whether they are qualified or not? Here depends on their job qualification, right? So from the job qualification, for example, we will accept only the graduate from the university graduate. So in one of the in the application form, okay, some applicants are like high school graduates. We will reject them here. So even from the first step, we can reject those unqualified applicants. So after rejecting, selecting, now what happened? The first one, those who have required qualification according to our job qualification. Now we will go for second step, that is calling them for the job interview. Okay, so when we call for the job interview, there are two types of interviews we will conduct: the first interview and the main interview. Okay, for the first interview, we call them first interview in order to give them the information about the nature of the job and also to find out the knockout factors. Knockout, K-N-O-C-K, knock, O-U-T, out, knockout. Okay, so well, in the first interview, we will tell them these are the nature of the job. Okay, for example, selling, non-selling activities, explain them. And also, if they think that it would be very tiring, they cannot do this job, then they may withdraw themselves from the application. That is possible. And also, during the first interview, we will find out the knockout factors. That is like when they come for the first interview, what are the things that will make them not qualify for the job? What are the things that will make them not qualify for the job? So what are the things, knockout factors? For example, the personality, the way they present their, way they answer the question, okay? Or even like their way of dressing and so on. So when they come for the first interview, and if we see that that person, that applicant is not able to communicate very well, even questions they cannot answer well, even they don't simple questions, they don't understand our question, they get nervous, okay, or whatever. Then, if the interview session was not smooth, then think about how they will do presentation about our product, right? Communication problem. Or it is also possible that we might see some applicants, okay, with a very long hair. Let's say like male applicants with a very long hair, okay, or with a big tattoo on the visible body part and so on. Usually managers do not hire these people, all right? Because of like, according to the researches, many people perceive tattoo as negative rather than positive, right? So those new salespeople are going to represent our company. We want their pleasant personality. That's what they focus, okay? So you see, like, these are the knockout factors. Knockout factors like the personality, the way they dress, okay, the tattoo or some other like undesired marks or whatever thing, okay, and also like their communication skills. So from the first interview, okay, but if they pass, for example, they learn about our selling job, they say that, oh, they like it, it's okay, they can do it. They don't have any knockout factors, they are just fine. Then we will call them for second interview, that is the main interview. Okay? When we call them for the second interview or main interview, we will be asking some information systematically by using different types of interview structure. Okay? So under main interview or second interview, the first interview structure we can use is pattern interview. Pattern interview is something like the interviewer, manager, the company, okay, whoever, will be preparing the set of interview questions. And that set of interview questions will be asked to every applicant. For example, if we have, let's say, 120 applicants, then all 120 applicants will get the same set of questions. So usually you see, like, when we use pattern interviews, the interview questions will be prepared, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, okay? Then everyone will answer this set of questions. The interviewer, the manager, would be checking or taking the notes of the answers. Usually for this kind of pattern interview, they have the format, and they just tick about the answers. So you see, like at the end of the day, after using pattern interview, at the end of the day, there will be the records of all the applicants. So they can compare easily which applicant answer which question in what way, right? So by comparing all the recorded information, recorded responses, the managers can select the best one. That is pattern interview. Can you guys follow?
Yes.
So for the second interview, semi-structured interview. That is like the manager will be asking different types of questions to different applicants based on their necessary information or required information. Okay. For example, if I use semi-structured interview, and when I interview Ketkamon based on the application form. Okay, Ketkamon got very high GPA. Okay, and also like honor student, but she was lack of working experience. But after looking at the application form, I liked it. So when I call her for the interview, my question would be focusing on her missing information that is there. So my question would be, okay, Ketkamon, can you tell us about your previous working experiences? So she will be telling me like, oh, after graduated and started working in this company for how many months, and after that switched to another company and so on. So my interview question in semi-structured interview will be different from Ketkamon to Siddharth. Okay, so for Siddharth, then my question might be focusing more on something like technical background. Okay, or my question to Tidarat will be something different from some others. So you see, like when we use like semi-structured interview, the interview questions will be different from one applicant to another, depends on the required information or missing information in the application form. And also, if the manager wants to know more, even though there is no missing information in the application form, but the manager wants to know more, deeper, okay, detailed information, the manager will also focus on that point. That is possible. Okay, so don't get confused. Pattern interviews, we prepare the same set of interview questions and we ask every applicant. Semi-structured interview, the interview questions are different to different applicants based on the necessary information. Is that clear?
Yes.
So when we should use pattern or semi-structure, usually you as a sales manager, if you are lack of experience, you are the brand new sales manager, you are lack of experience, then you may use pattern interview. So you do not forget anything, and also you may be able to cover the whole requirement, okay? So pattern interview will be suitable for those interviewers with lack of experience and knowledge. Semi-structured interview is suitable only for experienced sales managers. And the third one, field observation. Actually, that is not the interview, okay? Field observation is like during the interview process, we will ask the applicants to go to the field office, go to the sales office in the market, and let them observe how our current salespeople are performing the job. So from the observation, If they see that, oh my God, this is very tiring, or they don't get to say, they have to call many times, oh, I don't like it, then they will withdraw from the applicant. But from the field observation, very much, they can do it. Okay, they like the challenging job and they like the service and whatever thing. Then they will go for future processes. That is also possible. Okay, so that's what we will do in the interview process. So after that, what do? We have to let them know the interview results. They pass or they don't pass, right? Those who we reject, then here they are out of the list. Those who pass the interview, we do the next step, that is checking their background. So when we check the background, what do you think we are going to check? Of course, whatever they include in the application form. Will be educational background. For example, they may submit the graduate certificate, transcript, okay? So we might call the university, the school, and we will check, or even like calling the former employers. If they submit like recommendation letters and previous working experiences and so on, okay, any kind of documents, we might call that concerned company or the employer, and then we will check the background, okay? And even these days, companies start checking their financial background. Financial background, that is like checking their credit, okay, at the bank with the credit bureau. That's what they are doing. So from background check, if everything is fine, we don't give the job right away. We go to the next step, that is giving them psychological achievement test, written test. So the question is, hey, they passed the interview already. Why do we have to give them the written test again? You see, like during the interview, everyone knows that they are here for job interview. They will prepare their best, isn't it? Even the way they dress, okay? The answers, they learn about the company, they learn about the policy, they might even learn about the top management and the name and everything, because they prepare very well for the what we see in the interview, during the interview process, may or may not be the real situation. See that? During the job interview, they appear like in a business suit, very neat and professional with the leather shoes. But when they really come and work every day, they might come in jeans and slippers. We don't know, right? So whatever information we get from interview, they prepare well already. And these days, there are schools, training schools. They train people just for the job interview. Do you know that? If you don't know, I'm giving you the information. After you graduate, when you start looking for a job, they will train those job applicants. They will ask like, okay, which job you are applying for? Accountant, sales, marketing, whatever. And based on the nature of the job that you apply for, they will ask for which company. Then they will prepare the information and they will train you like anything. So when you go for the job interview, you are perfect. That's what they are doing. I'm telling you now. Okay? So you see, like, we don't know what we are seeing during the interview, whether these are the real person or they are just like preparing only for the interview. We don't know. That's why we need to give them more written tests, more reliable tests. Okay, so there are 3 tests that we can give. The first one we call as intelligence test will be given. Those who have the textbook, you look at the textbook, okay? The definition or the meaning of the intelligence test. By giving them, wait, let me find the page so I can tell you the page number. Page 210, those who have the textbook. have a textbook? Anyone?
Yes.
Second one?
Yeah, I have.
Could you please kindly take the photo of page 210 and 211?
Okay.
Okay, so your friends will be able to see those tests. Students?
Already.
Okay, I'm seeing it. Students, can you guys check it out? The photos? Okay, good. Please download it. Please download these two photos. And now let's talk about intelligence test. Okay? Intelligence test will be given to our applicants in order to find out whether the candidate or the applicant has the minimum mental capabilities to perform the job. Minimum mental capabilities. You know, like selling job is very tiring, right? We study already that they have to perform both selling and non-selling activities. When they cannot get the order first time, it is very disappointing. They have to keep calling many times, right? They have to travel in the market from one place to another. So you see, like it is very, very tiring, both physically and mentally. So by giving them the intelligence test, in this kind of working environment. Okay, so what we will do here will be send them like intelligence test, find out that they should be, find out whether they are like physically or mentally healthy persons or not. Okay, the next one, personality test. We can say that personality test is the weakest test because the person's personality cannot tell that whether this person with this kind of personality will be successful in sales career. There is no relationship. For example, all shy people are not successful in selling. Aggressive people are successful in selling. We do not have that kind of relationship. So why do we need to know about their personality? By knowing about their personality, we will be able to come up with appropriate motivational, packages, motivational tools, okay? And managers should know what kind of person they are, so we will be able to lead them successfully. All right? The third one, aptitude test. Aptitude tests are given in order to find out whether that applicant, that candidate has a real interest in the job or not. Okay, you know that you see like many of them need the income. That's why they apply for the job, right? So here we are talking about selling job. From those applicants who pass many different steps, among them, those who really love the selling job. There might be also like some people applying for the job because they need the income. Some people applying at our company because other companies don't take them. Possible, right? In this case, then what we have to do is by giving them aptitude tests, we will know whether they are really interested in selling job or not, whether they really love in selling job or not. Okay, guys? So you see, like, these are the tests that we will give to them. How to call, like, make the decision, or how to call, like, select or reject. Listen, okay? For the intelligence test, there will be the passing score, like your midterm, your final exam. There will be the passing score. If they get the passing score, they go for the other step. If they do not get the passing score, we reject them. Okay? For aptitude test, we compare our existing salespeople and separate to the two groups. Okay? In our existing sales force, there will be poor performing salespeople, one or in another group. And those applicants will be given aptitude tests. Based on the test results, whatever they reply, we compare with successful and unsuccessful salespeople, how they have been doing. If their test results are close to or the same as successful salespeople, we assume that they will also be successful in sales career. If their test results are similar to poor performing salespeople, then we assume that they will not be successful in the sales career. That's how we will know for aptitude test. Okay? And the last one, assessment center. Assessment center is not like giving them the written test, but when we use the assessment center, okay, there will be like some other selection tools that we think that might be appropriate or useful. Okay, we might come up with a simulation program. We might give them like some job related activities or case studies. Okay, we might ask them to solve the problem of the, how do we say? Remember that we have existing sales force already. So those existing sales force with existing salespeople, they have been meeting the customers, they have been facing problems. So we can bring those real customer problems to the assessment center. We can ask those we can ask those candidates or applicants to solve the problem. See that? So bringing the real case, giving them, ask them to solve it. So we can do that. In this case, then, we will see whether they will be able to do it, whether they will be surviving in the real situation, whether they have the problem-solving skill, whether they know how to handle the customer complaints and so on. That's what we will do in assessment center. All right? So after we do all of them, and then if they pass, then the last one will be giving them physical examination. That is physical medical. Okay? Why do we have to give them physical examination? If you hire someone who can sick all the time, someone with serious disease, what will happen? Our medical expenses will be very high because in the future, when you study chapter 12, compensation, okay, you will see that the company will pay for their medical expenses, for the insurance and so on. So we do not want someone who can be sick all the time. We do not want someone with a serious disease, or even we do not want someone who is drug addicted, right? So by giving them the physical examination, we want it, whether they have AIDS or HIVs or some other serious diseases or not. If they do, that means that they fail the exam, reject. If everything is okay, fine, then what do? We offer the job to them. So that is the process that we have to come through. So you see, like, from the beginning applying for the job, okay? About 200 applicants applying for the job and coming through all the processes, okay, all the steps. Some were rejected in each step. And now by this time, when we offer them the job, then we might have only about 20 left. Okay? But when we offer the job, we might have about 20 left. At that time, how long it would take to finish the whole process? It might be like months, right? Because look at the number. We have about 200 applicants. So come through the whole process. So after that long period of time, some people, they just lose their interest. Even though they pass everything, they don't want our job anyway because they lose interest already. During that process, when they have to wait for the results, they might get the job in another company. They might find a better job, another company. That is also possible. See that? That's why you see, like, even though we offer them the job, some of them will not accept the job because of this reason. That's why we have to think that situation that is like here about 50% in this example. So at the end of the last step, we have about 20 people, and when we offer them the job, only half, 50% will take the job. That is 10. That is the required number, luckily. So why they apply for the job in the beginning, but now when we give them the job, they don't take it because of the reasons that I mentioned just now. They might lose interest simply. They might get a better job, or they might get another job in some other company. Okay? Can you follow? Sorry guys, we have only 2 minutes left. We will do the last topic in the next class together with chapter 8. Okay? So next class will be, wait a minute, Monday 23rd. Is it holiday? What day is 23rd? Can you guys check? 23rd. Is Monday holiday?